Good morning. It's another beautiful day in Southwest Michigan, and we are ready for gentle restorative yoga. I'm Kathy Zerler. Please do what's right for you. Move mindfully, move slowly so you can notice what you're doing, and so that you don't go too far, too fast, and so that you always do what feels best for your body right now, this moment. So let's begin lying down on our mat in whatever rest pose is comfortable for you. For me, I'm going to go down in corpse pose, which is supine to the sky and flat on my back. The options are reclining cobbler with the soles of your feet together and your knees out to the side in a froggy position, or if you are feeling any sensations in the low back, bending both knees and moving your feet to the edges of the width of your mat, and then letting your knees fall together so you are not holding up the weight of your leg, will take the pressure off your low back. So find your spot, roll back your shoulders, take a longer, slower breath and settle in. Settle into that comfort zone that you know will get better with every breath. As you're breathing, turn your head from side to side, warming up your neck. Flowing from one side to the other, approaching your range of motion, stopping when you get there, never forcing. Coming to center, say center, to allow all of the cells that have memory, which are all of them, muscle memory, every cell in your body will help remember and remind you of the value of balance. When you connect with center, your place of grounding balance. Turn your head now in one direction and go up to, but never through, your range of motion and hold it. Breathe into the hold. Notice the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. If you can breathe in and out through your nose, please do that. Breathe back to center. Turn the other way. Same thing on this side. Breathe back to center, go the other direction. Notice. Breathe. Send that smile reflex through your entire being. Breathe back to center. Last time, the other direction. Breathe back to center. Bend the right knee. Bring that leg up close to your chest and place both hands behind the knee as you massage the right side of your body with the top of your leg, gently warming up your belly. Massaging your back as the small of your back presses into the mat. Nice big rotations, encompassing as much of your backside as you can. And then extend that leg back to the floor and bend the left knee, same thing, both hands behind that knee, protecting the knee joint from overflexion. As you breathe and notice, this is a gentle self-massage, massaging the involuntary organs and your back. Extend that leg now and bring your hands up to your shoulders and gently massage your shoulders with the palms of your hands at the place close to where your neck meets your shoulders. And just knead, K-N-E-A-D, like bread, knead your shoulders, giving them a little massage. Many of us hold our tension in the neck and shoulders. Wherever you hold your tension, make a conscious effort to release it as often as possible in whatever ways you are able to. And there are lots of techniques. Bring your arms straight up. Extend the arms. Feel the length and the strength of your arms. Soften, fold your hands, turn your palms up toward the ceiling, or in my case, up to the sky. Release, make a steeple, touch your thumbs, and bring your hands down into prayer pose. Resting your thumbs in the center of your chest, resting your arms on your ribs. Take a moment in prayer pose to think a grateful thought or set an intention. Smile and take a moment for yourself right now. Point your feet now. So bring your toes up toward the sky, point your feet, and bring your arms up overhead, behind you on the floor, and extend. So we're always thinking about alignment. Notice. Notice the length and the strength in your entire body. Release that. Bring your arms back to the mat, next to your sides. Check your shoulders, and then squeeze the low core. Squeeze the hips and the glutes and the abs right below the navel. And notice the quadriceps hopping right in there. They're so close to the core. And they're the biggest muscles in the body. All of these core muscles are the ones that need to be really strong. They're the biggest, they burn the most calories, they protect us. Release all at once. So as we go through our practice today, we will be doing a lot of tense and release. So there's additional benefits to releasing everything all at once, and it is a skill. Let's close in on the low core again. Draw it all together. Squeeze it all together, continuing to breathe as you hold these poses. It's tempting when we hold to hold our breath, but we need to continue oxygenating, bringing in healing oxygen and expelling CO2. And release. And notice. Focus your attention now on the right arm and lift it up, just off the mat, because in a few moments we're going to drop it. But notice the shoulders, the elbows, the hands, the fingers. Everything is weight on your low core. Not very much weight, but you are weightlifting nonetheless. We are warming up. And now, all at once, drop the arm. Notice the energy you created in your bloodstream. Left arm, same thing, lift it up. Hold it and breathe. So the breath outside is the best. I'm taking in fresh air, healing oxygen. I'm expelling CO2, which assists all plant life in what they're doing. And it feels good beside. Drop that arm all at once. Let everything go. Right arm, once again, same thing. Lift it up. Notice and breathe. Smile as you hold and breathe and pay attention. Mindfulness is simply paying attention to what you're doing. Drop the arm. Left arm, same thing. Lift it up. Hold it here. Notice. Breathe into it. All at once. Let it go. Take a moment. Squeeze the core again, just as a reminder that we're about to do leg lifts. And once we lift our legs one at a time up in the air, we are going to engage our low core. The TVA muscles that run across your body, the transverse abdominal muscles, the hips, the glutes, and the quads will join in. Release, bend the right knee, bring the right leg up in the air, bring it close to your core, keep the knee soft, and place your palms on the low core, engaging as you point and slowly lower the right leg. This is heavier. We're using our core strength. And as we arrive almost to the floor, and take your time, then we flex our foot and bring it up just as slowly. So we are exerting in both directions, which means that we breathe in both directions. Whatever feels right for you. Pointing it down, flexing it up, and noticing. Remembering that this is your yoga. Release the leg when you come to the floor the next time. And in your yoga, you are doing the right things for you. And you know best. You are your own best teacher. You know your limits where they are right now. Honor yourself by honoring your limits. Bend the left knee. Bring it up. Close to the core, as close as you can. That knee is soft. Point and very slowly flex as you engage those ab muscles, those hips, those glutes, even the quads. Flex it up when you that motion is lotion for your joints and your entire body. And we need to move. Even if we have something that might not be feeling quite up to it, we need to figure out a way to move it somewhat so that it doesn't freeze or atrophy. And that can happen all too quickly. The next time you come close to the floor, release the leg. So always make a mindful effort to move gently and slowly, especially when you get out of bed, especially when you need a rest and you know you're becoming spent. That's when you need to stop and rest. Bend the knees now for the bridge pose. Check your shoulders. The weight will be on the shoulders and the feet. Place your hands next to your body for stability and experiment before we do a bridge just by lifting up your hips. And be sure right now that you have no pressure on your neck. And if you're fine, then check the shoulders again. Feet are in front of the feet. Tilt your pelvis and roll up one beautiful bone at a time as you rock back onto those shoulders and come into a plank. So imagine alignment between the knees and the shoulders. And if you're not sure if you're lined up, arch your back a little bit and squeeze your hips and then begin to release those muscles just enough to hold the pose, but not so much that you're exerting unnecessarily. We're saving our energy by using the muscles we need to use and not chronically clenching anything. Very important. Slowly roll down. One vertebrae at a time comes to the mat. As you touch and begin to rock your pelvis, releasing your spine, move your head a little bit. Notice the release. It is just as important, if not more so, than the tension. The combination of tension plus healing, or excuse me, tension plus relief is healing. So what you're doing is healing your body one moment at a time. If your shoulders are in place and you're ready for another bridge, come on up. Roll up, arch, squeeze, and settle in, releasing what you don't need to hold the pose. So that's a good metaphor for any task. Release what you don't need to do the job. So we're not overall clenching anything chronically. We want to be careful with where we hold our tension. Some people hold it in the shoulders and the neck, some in the jaw, some in the belly. It can be anywhere. So it's up to you to notice where your tension wants to be. Roll down and then release it as you rock. And the idea that we can completely release all tension is not human. It's not living in our skin. Because if we're living in our skin right now, which we all are, then we have some tension. And so that's just part of it. Soften here. If your shoulders are ready, let's go up for a third bridge. You always have the option not to do as many. I often like to do 3, depending on what it is. Just so the first time your body remembers it, and the second time it's better, and the third time it's better yet. Our bodies know. Listen to your body. Find your place and notice. Breathe into the core. We are strengthening our bodies, especially the core. Roll it down gently, releasing. Spine rolling down on the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Rocking your pelvis, releasing. And then stop and bring both knees up. One hand behind each knee. Roll on your back, releasing your spine from the work of the bridge. Bring the knees in close, lift your legs up in the air, look at your feet. Point the feet. Release. Flex the feet. Notice the backs of your legs flexing. Soften again. Press the sides of your big toes together and squeeze the inner thighs. Release that. Press the sides of your heels together and squeeze your glutes. Release that. Let's do that series again. Point. Extend. Arms are on the floor for stability. What's happening in your belly? Is it joining right in, or do you need to consciously make it join in? Release. Flex. Very gently. The backs of our legs have a lot of connective tissues that are easily overstretched. They always need to be warmed up. Release. Press the sides of your big toes together. Squeeze the inner thighs. Smile as you soften and press the sides of your heels together, squeezing your gluteus maximus. Release. Open up your legs now in a big V, bend your elbows, and then allow your legs to come and rest on your hands as you safely allow the center of your body to open. Notice the stretch in the inner thighs. Hold it here. Begin to rotate the ankles, first in one direction, and then in the other direction, warming up the little ankle bones. Think of all the work our feet do every day and how small they are in comparison with everything else. We need to take good care of our feet. Stop the rotation, point the feet and pronate. Turn out the legs. It's a small change. A small group of muscles have entered the picture of flexion in the leg and the center of your being. Release. Flex the feet and very gently supinate, turning the feet in. Notice the outsides of your legs. All of these movements are still opening up the core and also working different muscles in your legs and your feet. Release and bring the legs in, bend the knees, roll on your back. This is the difference between activity and a session of yoga, because in yoga, we work every muscle group gently and mindfully. We watch what we're doing and we go through the entire body. In an activity, like, I don't know, shoveling your garden or hauling plants around, those tend to be more repetitious tasks on your body, and you definitely need to warm up before you do those things. Keeping everything in perspective, it's worth the extra time you take to take a yoga class. Roll now onto one side and use your elbow and your hand to push yourself up safely to a seated position. So we're protecting our lumbar spine here by getting up like that. Come into staff pose. So here we are in staff pose. Roll your shoulders. Smile. Coming to center, gently fold in half. No forcing. Hands toward the feet, head toward the knees, holding it here. Roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling back your shoulders, coming into alignment. And we need to do this many times every day, the alignment part, because we're often leaning forward, doing our jobs. And this yoga is meant to help you do your job better so that you know what you need to do. You don't use your body like a robot. You stand up when you need to stand up. You sit down when you need to sit down. You lie down and sleep when you need that. You take good care of all of the systems and the cycles. Bring your arms out now to parallel, palms down, small movements, moving the arms up and down. Nice and slow, moving through the shoulders, through the elbows, through the hands and the fingertips, like wings. And stop. Turn your palms up, small movements. Gently lift the air, working the shoulders in a very conscious, mindful, gentle way. And breathe. Bring your arms up overhead now. Fold your hands, turn your palms up toward the ceiling. Make a long, strong L. And now point the feet. Make that L even stronger and longer. Breathe into this flexion, all body flexion, and release. Come back to parallel, turn your palms forward, small circles backwards. Breathe and notice. Stop, small circles forward. So we always do both directions. When we're doing anything with a moving part that moves in more than one direction, we try to work all the directions. Release the arms, roll the shoulders. Oh, say ah. It feels so good to release. And the release, remember, just as important as the tension. Tension plus relaxation equals healing. Bring your arms up into goal pose. Bring them back far enough to notice that you're engaging your shoulder blades as you move the arms up and down. What's your belly doing? Are you engaging it consciously, or is it already going in with your practice? One of the goals of practice is to have our bodies understand balance, understand muscle control, so that if we get into any trouble in what we're doing, our bodies will kick in because we train them. Release and roll and notice. And then bring the arms up into scarecrow and gently lift. And sway the elbows. This is just kind of a fun one. Whatever you want to do here, just kind of move around. And release. Fold in half, seated forward bend. Roll it up. Roll back your shoulders and let's stand up. So how we stand up safely is we first come up to the table and then we push up to a crouch and then we roll up. And so we're safely coming up mindfully into the mountain pose. So here I am in the mountain. Roll back your shoulders. Legs are straight down from the hips. Look at your feet. You want your feet to be forward. So if you often stand in a duck or a pigeon, this is not the time to do that. Try to keep alignment in mind from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. Sweep up the extended mountain. Lift up. Lengthen. Soften and release. And let's do some windmill breathing. Inhale up and exhale down at your own pace. Breathing as you move the arms. Move your smile muscles. Filling your body and your bloodstream with oxygen. Stimulating circulation, making space around the organs and the systems. All of that is happening right now. Release and roll. Let's do a forward bend. I will turn to the side. So I'm in the mountain. Chin is back, feet are forward. Bring in your elbows close to your waist and your hands are soft. Bend the knees and sit way back. You want the knees above the feet. So you want the behind you. As you fold in half, touch the mat and let your head hang between your arms. Shake your head yes. Stimulating the crystals, releasing them from any clusters that might cause lightheadedness. And then tucking the chin, pull in the belly, and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow. The chin tuck helps alleviate any dizziness. Roll back the shoulders. Come into mountain, sweep up to the extended mountain and lift it up. Bring your head back. Soften right here, release. Forward bend, elbows in. Sit back, way back. Bend the knees, fold in half, touch the floor or a block, and hang out. It's important to have 4 points on the floor. Your head is hanging between your arms. We don't want to hold up the weight of our head in most of these poses because it's an average weight of 10 pounds per person. So it's a big weight for our little necks. Slowly roll up, pulling in the belly, tucking the chin, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes up, shoulders roll back, and sweep up, lift up, lengthen. Notice. Soften here and release. Put your hands on your waist now. Soften your knees and twist to the right. Looking over the right shoulder. As you flex your spine, your neck, and your shoulders. And notice. Come back to center. Twist the other direction. Looking over that shoulder. Notice, come back to center. Twist the other way, going up to your edge. Return to center. The other direction. Rotate, go up to your limit. Breathe into it. Come back to center. One more complete rotation, turn the other way. Hold it here. Notice. Breathe back to center. Last time, to the left. Looking over that shoulder. Breathe back to center. Release the arms and just sway gently from side to side, releasing that rotation. Coming to center, forward bend. Elbows in, sit way back. Bend the knees, fold in half, hang out. You're like a rag doll in the top of your body, and the low body is the stability. Shake your head, yes. Tucking the chin now, roll it up, bone by bone. Coming up slowly. Head comes up, blood flows back to your heart, shoulders roll back, sweep up, lift up, soften and look up. Arch your back. Bring up your head. Release. Forward bend. Elbows in. Sit way back. Hang out. Roll up. Nice and slow. This is a great release and a great warm-up. Shoulders roll back. Sweep your arms up. Lift up. And as you're lifting up, lift up your toes. Bring back your chin. Notice the length, the strength, the flexion, everything going on, and how it's all working together. Soften here. Gently sway from side to side. Flexing the oblique muscles as you move from side to side. If one of your shoulders doesn't want to do this, just do it with one arm, or change the shoulder position. Your shoulder can be across your body, your hand can be on your waist. You can only do this with one arm if you want to. Always make the right decisions. The next time we come up, lift up at center, lengthen, find your center, a reminder of balance, and then lean to what would be your left. Bring the other arm up overhead, stretching out in crescent moon. Once again, if the upper shoulder does not want to be where it is, move it. Do not hurt yourself. Safety first is our main rule. And mindfulness will help get you there. Come all the way back up. Lift up at center. Soften, lean the other way. Find your place. Whenever I say mindfulness, I have to remember my mother saying frequently, pay attention. And she was right. Your mother was too. Come all the way back up. Lift up at center. Soften, lean the other way. Extend. Notice. Working the entire body in a way that you will appreciate in just a few more minutes when we're finished. Come all the way back up. I hope you're appreciating it right now. Lift up at center. And last time in this direction. Come back up. Lift up at center, soften here, and gently sway, releasing. Gently sway, letting go. Coming to center. Find your center, lift up, release the arms, and sway from side to side. Feeling good. Lots of flexion that opens up the space around the organs in particular, but many other parts of the body as well. Coming back to center. Let's sit back in our chair. And so from the mountain, we bend our knees and we put our behind us, stabilizing the low body. And then when you're ready, open up your chair to an open angle, or you can be at a 90-degree angle, whatever feels better for you. Keep your neck lined up with your spine. Sit back on your behind, like you're trying to sit in a chair, but you are the chair. Fold in half. Hang out. Oh, feels good to release, doesn't it? Roll it up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Tension plus release. And your body is healing. Roll back your shoulders. Get ready for another chair. So find your center. Find your length and your strength in the mountain. And then bend the knees and sit way back. Once you're stable here, you can bring up the arms and sit back and notice and breathe. Hold it. Core strength. Fold in half. Roll up. Bone by bone. Shoulders roll back. And let's step out now for the tripod. So each of your legs is part of the tripod and your hands together is the third leg of the tripod. So we're going to bend our knees and put our hands in front of us on the mat, allowing our heads to hang between our arms. And now walk both hands to the right foot, left hand on the mat, right arm up in the air, look up, look down, right arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the left foot, right hand on the mat, left arm up in the air, look up, look down, left arm down, walk back to center, to the right foot, left hand on the mat, Right arm up in the air. Look up. Look down. Right arm down. Walk back to center. Both hands to the left. Right hand on the mat. Sweep up. Look up. Look down. Come down. Walk back to center. And roll up slowly. Coming back up. Step together for the mountain. And we're going to do the standing cat table cow. So if you like to do this on all fours, which is very common and you probably already know that one, here's a variation. So you fold in half. Your back is the table. It should be about parallel to the floor. And then tuck the chin and arch your belly toward the sky for the cat stretch. Return to the table. Sway your belly toward the floor and look up for the sway back cow. Come back to the table. Arch up into the cat stretch in a nice flow. Flexing your spine forward and back. Coming back to the table now, sway into the cow and hold it. Hold it, breathe into it, and then release. Arch up into the cat and hold it. Breathe into it, release, and come up. All the way back up to the mountain. Shoulders roll back. Sweep your arms up. Lift up. Soften right here. Look up and arch. Bring up your head. Release the arms. Gently sway from side to side. Nice and slow. Let's step out now to the 5-point star. The top of your head is the top of the star. Intensify everything below the neck. Lots of energy here. Breathe and hold. And then soften. Notice. Turn your left foot to the left. Sink the back heel. Bring the left arm up in the air. Right hand down the back of the right leg. The legs are straight. Bring up your head. Come back to parallel. Bend the forward knee. Bring the forward arm on top of that leg. Side angle pose, and the other arm goes up overhead. Come back up. Leave the forward knee bent. Swivel your hips to the left. Bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists. And pull. Bring back your right arm like you're shooting a bow and arrow. And then release. Hold it. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fist. Shoot the bow. Bring it back. Nice and slow. And release. Hold it here. Both arms together in the front. Strong fist. And pull. You're strong and gaining endurance. And balance. Hold it here. Both arms together in the front. Palms facing each other. Lift your arms up overhead. Arch your back and look up. Bring up your head. Lower the arms. Come back to center. And step together and release. Gently sway. Just move around, releasing everything in that warrior sequence that we just did. And we're going to do the other side in just a moment. So take a moment for yourself to take a quiet moment and breathe. You do know that ah is the new om, right? Ah, this feels so good. Or you could say om. That's okay too. Step out to the 5-point star. Intensify everything below the neck, tension. Soften here. Turn your right foot to the right. Sink the back heel for stability. Straighten your spine. Bring your right arm up in the air. Left hand goes down the back of the left leg as you look up. Bring up your head. Bring the arms back to parallel. Sink the forward knee for side angle. Bring the other arm up overhead. Notice. Keeping the forward knee bent, come back up. Find your seat, the center of your pose. Bring both arms together in the front. Strong fist as you draw back your left arm like you're shooting a heavy bow. And then let it go. Hold it. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fist and pull. Bring it back. Slow and let it go. Hold it here. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fist and pull. Bring it back. Slower is better. Let it go. Hold it here. Both arms together in the front. Bring the arms up overhead. Arch your back and look up. Bring up your head, lower your arms, come back to center, back to the 5-point star, and release and step together. And let's sit down. We're approaching cool down. But first, we're going to come into alignment, and then we're going to do a really good spinal rotation that I love. So roll back down, bring both arms up overhead, press through the fingers and the toes. Bring your arms back, relax on the mat, roll back your shoulders, take a long, slow breath. Bend the knees. Bring both knees up close, placing one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. Bring the knees in. Extend your arms out into airplane. On a breath now, lower both legs to the right, allowing them to go all the way to the floor. Head to the left as you extend the left arm away and roll that palm up. Right palm is down. You are in a full body spinal rotation. Feel the flexion in your spine. Release everything around it. Settle into your sweet spot and let this powerful pose do its work. It is a pose that, if anything is minorly out of place in your spine, this is the pose that can bring it back. So all you have to do is be in it. It's important in this pose not to hold up the weight of your legs. And so if you find yourself doing that, move the legs so that you're not holding up their weight. And if that you find that, you can open up the flex in your hip or your knees if you find that's difficult. We never have to stay where we land in a pose. We can always, if we feel like we got in it somehow incorrectly, and we mindfully went into it so we know that, we can change it. And so make the right changes, adjustments, whatever you need to just be comfortable in every pose. Slowly now, one leg at a time. Bring up your legs. Bring in your arms. So one hand behind each knee. Roll on your back, bringing your spine back to center, bringing it out of that flexion and back into alignment. And so if there's anything minor that is not in place, perhaps it's going in right now. Knees in close, arms out into airplane, legs to the left, all the way to the floor. Head to the right, rolling the right palm up, left palm down. Soften, release, and breathe into your spine. Slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up your legs, bring in the arms, one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. In a circular motion or side to side. Feeling the release. You can swing your legs up in the air if you'd like to. You can go into happy baby, which is grabbing the soles of your feet, and you can roll around there. Then bring the knees in close, arms out into airplane, legs to the right, nice and slow, head to the left as you turn that palm up, right palm is down. Begin the process of releasing right here. Letting go. And this is true for every part of our bodies. Our bodies, our spirits, our minds all need rest. They all need release. It's up to us to notice when and to activate that. Very slowly, one leg at a time, bring up your legs. Bring in the arms, one hand behind each knee as you roll on your back. Side to side, circular motion. The idea is to encompass as much of your spine as you can. Bring the knees in close, arms out into airplane, both legs slowly to the left, all the way to the floor. Head to the right, roll that palm so it's facing up. Left palm is down, you're looking right, and you're letting go. Very slowly, one leg at a time. Come back to center. Bring in the arms and release and roll. Roll on your back, allowing anything that wants to articulate back into place. Coming to center, extend into an extended mountain pose, pointing the feet, bringing both arms up overhead behind you on the floor, pressing through the fingers and the toes, and noticing. Soften here, bring your arms back, come into rest pose, check your shoulders, and settle in for Shavasana. This is the part of yoga where everything is able to integrate back to center. The spirit, mind, and body all working together as one. As you are one. You are one very wonderful and worthy person. Lift up your lips in a smile and relax in the fact that you are just where you need to be. You are not alone. You are okay. And as my dear friend, Deborah Basham, once told me, I really don't want to spoil the ending here, but everything will be okay. And then she also likes to add from time to time, if it's not okay, it's not the end. Keep moving forward, everybody. Let's bring our hands together in prayer pose. Allow your hands to rest in the center of your chest. Arms on the ribs. Breathing in, breathing out, and smiling as we say together, 1, 2, 3, namaste. And give yourselves a hand, everybody. Make it a healthy day. Thank you for being here. This is Kathy Zerler, and I'm waving goodbye. Thank you. Take care.